and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk all about our plans for visiting Washington, D.C. Our trip is coming up in a few weeks, and when I'm planning a trip, I absolutely love to watch planning videos, and unfortunately there's not a ton of planning a Washington, D.C. trip with kids on YouTube. So I thought I would share where we're staying, how long we're going, what we're definitely seeing, what we're skipping this time, and some places that we're planning on eating. So my kids are 6 and 9, and this will be their first trip to Washington, D.C. And this trip was actually my 9-year-old's idea. He came to us and said it was somewhere that he did want to visit, and so we thought, since we don't live super far, that we would definitely take some time in the spring to go and see Washington, D.C. So we are going to be traveling for 2 nights and 3 days at the end of May, like the week leading up to Memorial Day. And my husband and I are taking my 2 boys. Like I said, they're 6 and 9, and my in-laws are also going along with us on this trip. So we are going to be staying right in the heart of Washington, D.C. at Embassy Suites Convention Center. It's like D.C. Metro or D.C. Convention Center. And that was really, really important to me when planning this trip. I wanted to be in the center of all of the action. I wanted to be within walking distance to the National Mall. That's where like all the Smithsonian museums are and all of the monuments. And this hotel was the right price, and it offered all of those things to us. So we are paying $377. I'm also going to tell you all about our budget suite situation. So like bedroom with a living room area and a small like kitchenette. And that is really going to help our budget because we're going to bring some snacks and some easy things to heat up so we're not eating out each and every meal. We live right around 5 hours from Washington, D.C. So we're going to get up really early one morning and drive into Washington, D.C. And that day I have planned out that we're going to grab some lunch once we get there, check into our hotel, and then do all of the monuments. We're going to see the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial. We're going to see the Tidal Basin and all of the monuments that are around there. I think it's Martin Luther King Jr., the FDR, and Thomas Jefferson Memorial. And we are aware that it's going to be a lot of walking. But we are used to Disney World vacations. We are going to take it at a slow pace, pack lots of water, and just kind of, we've given ourselves about 4.5 hours to do that. And I think that's more than enough time. Also, that first day, I think we're going to visit the Bureau of Printing and Engraving, which is where money is printed. And I asked my son if that's something that he would be interested in, and he said yes. So I hear that you do have to get there early to get a ticket. And so we're probably actually going to stop in there really quick, try and get a time to come back for a tour, and then go on the monument walk. And hopefully we'll be able to see them printing some money. And then the next day, so the second day, we are going to be doing all of the museums. Now, if you are on a budget and you are planning a trip to Washington, D.C., the best part about it is like everything is free. So the zoo is free. All of the Smithsonian museums, so that's Air and Space, Natural History, American History, the Holocaust Museum, the African American Museum, and then there's, I believe, a Native American Museum as well. Those are both free. All of the monuments are free. You don't have to pay to, walk past them or walk through the monument loop. And so we are really planning on spending no money on entertainment once we get there. We're just going to be spending for our gas and our food. And I'll try and put our budget at the end of this video, or maybe talk a little bit more about it. So we are going to be visiting the Air and Space Museum, like I said, the Natural History Museum, and the American History Museum. This time, I think we're going to skip the Holocaust Museum. I just am not sure that the kids are quite ready for that yet. And even though I hear from a lot of my friends that it is their favorite to visit as adults, I do think that it's a little too old for my children. And so we're going to just be doing a few of those buildings. And that day, we're also going to visit the Capitol building. And we have plans to eat at the Good Stuff Eatery for either lunch or dinner. It just depends on how long we spend touring the museums. And I'm really excited about that because it has made headlines, you know, in different people's presidencies, and so that's exciting. We are choosing a lot of options for our lunches and dinners that are more on the budget friendly side. We do not have a Potbelly sandwich shop anywhere around where we live, and so we really want to try that. We have a couple pizza places near our hotel picked out to eat. One of them is Ella's Wood Grill Pizza, and if you guys have any suggestions on where we should eat while we're in Washington, D.C. that's budget friendly and kid friendly, let me know in the comments below because we are open to other suggestions. So let's talk about things that we are doing that we had to pre-plan for. So we have put in our name for a White House tour. So you do have to, if you're wanting to possibly tour the White House, we had to contact one of our senators. You can also contact a congressman, I believe. We contacted Senator Pat Toomey. He is in Pennsylvania, and so if you are in Pennsylvania, his office was amazing. They got right back to me. I then got a follow-up email from the White House tours, and they had me enter in all of my party's information, birth dates, social security numbers, all of those types of things. So if you are planning on traveling with a group, you need to put in for a reservation for however many are traveling in your group, and then be prepared with all of their personal information, including like middle names and all of that stuff to put in for a security clearance. And then we are to hear in the next week or so about whether or not we actually are going to be able to go on a White House tour, and if so, what time. So that is really exciting. And so we're hoping that we get the White House tour for the second or third day we're there. You know, some of these plans may change depending on if and when we get a White House tour. So our third day, you know, White House tour or not, we are planning on visiting the National Zoo. It is also free, you guys, and I am so excited about that. We will be taking the metro out of the city center to the National Zoo, and we are excited to see the pandas, which I know are one of the animals that, you know, you can't see them in most zoos in the nation, and so we are really excited about that. Now that's the day we're actually going to be leaving, and we have some plans to drive out of Washington, D.C. and visit Arlington National Cemetery. Now this is something that I think it would really interest my father-in-law. He is a veteran, and so even though I'm not sure I would have chosen this for just my family and my kids, I think it's really going to be a nice thing for my father-in-law to experience, and also for the kids to just pay tribute and gain some compassion and understanding about those who have lost their lives serving our nation. And so we are really, really excited about our Washington, D.C. trip. We are planning on doing this entire trip for right around $650 to $700. Now, as I told you, my in-laws are going to be traveling with us. You do have to pay for parking at most Washington, D.C. hotels, especially when they're close to the city center. And so they have actually told us that they would take care of that for us. And so we are just paying for our hotel, the gas to get there, which if you guys are taking a road trip anytime soon, type in AAA gas calculators. You can put in the city you're leaving from, the city that you're arriving to, your car make and model and year, and it will tell you with the current gas prices how much you should budget for gas round trip. And that is an amazing tool for road trips. We did that and figured out our gas is going to be right around like $55 to $60 for the trip, and so we've budgeted that. And then our food, we're trying to keep it to eating at places that are around $40 to $50 a meal. Our hotel, like I said, we're staying at Embassy Suites at DC City Metro, the convention center, and it has a full breakfast with like an omelet station and all of those types of things, as well as a manager's reception. And we're going to be taking snacks and things because we have that kitchenette in our room. So we are definitely doing this on a pretty low budget, and I think that it's something that if you live anywhere on the East Coast, you could do it on a pretty small budget if you're planning on driving in and not staying for an extended period of time. Now, if you guys have any suggestions about other things that we should see, definitely leave them in the comments below, and look forward to more Washington, D.C. travel videos coming up soon. I'm going to be doing packing videos, I'm going to be doing road trip videos, and then lots of day in the life of when we actually go on our trip. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button and that little bell beside it, and we'll see you next time.